everybody. I'm Jean Miller with Woodbark Realty Group, Keller Williams, and I am here with doing our regular weekly Zoom call with our principal broker, Claire Woodmark, and our very good, knowledgeable friend, Bob Haley of New American Funding. So hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yay. Hello, hello. So I'd like to just dive in and let Bob tell us about what's happening on the financial side of buying and selling. And so, Bob, can you talk to us a little bit about what's happening with refis? We're hearing a lot about that these days.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a huge opportunity for people to lower their rates, lower their payments, even lower their term at this juncture because, anytime there's a financial crisis or even a potential of a financial crisis, rates drop. The Fed's real adamant about that, and they want to keep the economy going and keep it from stalling out. So great time to refinance, lots of business coming through, lots of people jumping to a 20 or a 15-year fixed. There is money to lend. There's a lot of people that have tightened their guidelines. We have a little bit, but New American Funding is one of the industry leaders right now in keeping those credit scores down on the lower end to help as many people as possible. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to refi, and there's a lot of people taking advantage of it.
That's good news to hear. And then, so refi though, how is that impacting the availability of money for buyers?
Yeah, so the money's still there for both. The process is what's being really impacted. Underwriting timelines are a little bit longer. Appraisals are probably the biggest one. Their timelines have almost tripled since normal was the case a couple of months ago. So that's probably the biggest draw right now on the buying side, is just waiting for those appraisals to get done with all the new protocols of safety. And we have a lot of appraisers that have just stopped doing in-house appraisals. Good news is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are allowing us to go ahead and do those appraisals with drive-bys in most instances. So that's, they're doing everything they can to make it make sense for everybody and still accomplish what we need to do. But yeah, that's probably the biggest impact.
Well, and what can you do specifically to help people who are interested in buying within the 6 months that are upcoming?
Yeah, we need to prep. The guidelines have shifted some with what's going on. We've got employment challenges. Just getting a verification of employment is an act of Congress because everybody's working from home. So trying to get that right body to give us the employment verification we need, we have to verify employment within 48 hours of funding. So that's a really tight timeline. Normally it used to be 5 days and now it's 2. So just, those kind of things we have to prep for. But as far as the buyers themselves, I think credit scores are the biggest piece of that puzzle. We've got to make sure that we're maximizing those scores, and getting that credit report pulled and analyzing that with them is super important, so we get them the highest possible credit score that we can.
And so what about people who are looking to buy further out into the future, like 6 months and beyond? What advice would you give them specifically regarding credit score, especially?
Absolutely. Same basic process. We need to identify what the scores are today. Oftentimes there are things that show up on the credit report that aren't even our clients. And until we pull a bureau, we actually don't know that. So we try to get that as soon as we can. We go over it with the client, make sure that everything that is reporting is accurate. And then if there are things we can do to help maximize their scores, and most of the time that is credit card usage driven, then we coach them through that process. And I share with them how even sometimes $100 on a credit card can make a difference in their credit score. Sometimes it takes more, but really coaching them through that process and getting them geared up to maximize their credit score, minimize their debt, and put them in the best buying position that they can.
That's good to hear. And so what kind of final words or encouragement do you have for all of us at this unusual time?
Yeah, stay positive. The media's taken a lot of information and running with it that they shouldn't. Even people in the industry are making false statements that they just don't understand. I'm very in tune with that. So, always reach out to me and Claire. We stay on top of this stuff for you. There is money to lend. Credit scores are a little bit tighter, but we're still doing amazing things. All products as far as FHA, VA, USDA, conventional, we're doing all of that product mix. Even jumbos are still there and available. They're a little tighter than they were. So, we're just stay positive with it, and we're going to keep you in tune with what's going on, and make sure that you're ready when you're ready.
Well, and I want to make sure that everyone knows what Claire and I know, which is that you are an amazing resource. You've been in the business for 30 years. You're willing and able to talk to anyone about not only purchasing immediately, but into the future, and to give those great guidelines. So thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
We want to make sure everyone knows how to get a hold of you. And then if you have any compliance that you need to take care of at this time, please do that as well.
You bet. Absolutely. My cell phone number is the best place to get a hold of me. It is 503-708-1605. New American Funding's NMLS number is 6606. And my personal NMLS number is 290893. My office address is in Clackamas, and that address is 12550 Southeast 93rd Avenue. That's Suite 160. We're in Clackamas, and that's 97015.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. I know that Claire and Mark really rely on you to take good care of their clients, and I'm looking forward to continue to work with you as well. So thank you so much for your expert knowledge. I'm going to pass the baton to Claire, Principal Broker. So how would you like to just talk about the market? Like, what's happening with the market, with buying and selling right now?
Yeah, really good question. Buying and selling tends to be a herd mentality. Buyers love to buy in the springtime. They love to take their summers off and enjoy our Oregon summertime. And then typically by mid-September, once kids are back in school and everyone's kind of back to the regular schedule, then it's go, go, go and get that house before Christmas or Thanksgiving, before the holidays start. So it's very much a herd mentality. This is a great opportunity for buyers who are in the market, who are really ready to pull that trigger to do so now versus in 5 or 6 months when everyone else enters back into the market. So a friend of mine calls this the great pause. And the great pause is good for several different things: calming down, slowing down, resting. But if you are in the market to buy a house, don't take advantage of the great pause. You're going to want to go ahead and get out there and track down that house sooner than later. Same thing with sellers. If you need to sell your home, and people need to sell their home all the time, there's transfers, there's family changes, there's mom or dad coming to live with you. Get your home on the market sooner than later. You have a captive audience. Everyone's at home, they're online, they're looking at homes on the market, and many buyers are ready, willing, and able to buy right now. So I would say, if you are ready to do it, don't wait 5 or 6 months. This is not a market where you can go in and write an offer for $80,000 under the list price. House prices are not getting slashed. The market is not on sale. So if you're going to buy, then you have a great opportunity right now.
Well, and tell us a little bit more about pricing. Are prices dropping? What's happening out there? Give us some more details about that.
Sure. So actually, Dean, you and I have been working this week on compiling some stats that we're going to be doing twice a month. And actually, the stats that we're working on, we're actually going to put into our newsletter, which I'm sending out on Saturday. And so those stats are like Gresham, Westland, Lake Oswego, Beaverton, Tiger-Tualatin, Hillsborough, Vancouver, and Portland Metro. And it helps us really look at a few things. First, we're looking back 10 days. And we're saying, okay, what's happening with how many active listings there are? How many new listings have come on the market the last 10 days? And then the 3 things I like to look at, how many listings have had a price change? And right now it's very low. There's very few listings that have had a price change in the last 10 days. The second thing I like to look at is back on market, BOM. Back on market means a buyer and a seller were in contract to purchase and sell a house together. And for whatever reason, the buyer had to back out of that contract, and that home is now back on the market. It's back on the market for sale. We had a client 3 weeks ago, and the inspection was really rough, probably $30,000, $40,000 worth of repairs. And we really advocated for our client to back out in that contingency and get their earnest money back, and let's find a house that doesn't need so much work. And so that house was back on market because we pulled out. Yay, they're back in another house, and we closed in a week and a half. So that's all good news, and their story is ending really well. But that's an example of back on market. And then the other one, what's the other one? Back on market, price change. Oh, bumpable status. So Bumpable status is when a buyer is wants to buy a home. Maybe you're a seller, they want to buy your house, but their offer is contingent on them closing on their home with their buyer. And interesting, as you and I have looked over the last 10 days, there's a handful of bumpable status. It looks to me like most sellers are saying, we don't want a contingent offer. Or if they are accepting a contingent offer, it's really, really dialed in and solid. Like maybe that buyer's house is closing in 2 days or 5 days, or they've cleared the inspection period. So yeah, so those are kind of the things that we're looking at right now. And we're seeing lots of new listings, lots of stuff going pending, and lots of closings. At the end of April, we'll do a comparison with April, March, and February going back, and really take a hard look at kind of stay at home, stay safe, and then what's happening. But I've been pleasantly surprised with all of the new listings coming on the market.
Certainly, yeah, real estate is happening. There's really just changes in this season to protect everyone and protect everyone's health. So let us know how that's happening as well.
Yeah, so we actually have two different things. So let's talk about our buyers. So we're licensed, dual licensed, Oregon and Washington. So in Washington, the state there has mandated that only the realtor and one buyer can be on the property at any given time. And whenever we are showing anything with our buyers, we come with gloves and shoe covers and Clorox wipes. So we are making sure we stay 6 feet or more away from each other. And in Washington, the realtor and one buyer is allowed on the property at a time. In Oregon, we can have both buyers and their realtor show. So Mark or I will show up with our shoe covers and our Clorox wipes and our gloves, and we will touch all the light switches and door handles and open everything up. We just ask our buyers to have their hands in their pockets. And if they want to see anything, we'll open that up, but we're just trying to protect them as much as possible. And of course, protect the seller. And then for our sellers, we have a pretty stringent list of how we will let our listings be shown. We collaborate with our sellers to have them discern which of two options are best for them. So one is no showings, and showings are only allowed once an offer has been received. The second one is showings, but with agent accompany, which means Mark or myself is there at our listing. The seller is gone, and an agent and up to 2 of their buyers, no children, can come through. We provide, again, shoe covers, gloves, Clorox wipes. We don't want them opening anything, touching anything. We want it as safe as possible for them and our seller. And so our sellers are very involved in how they want their home shown. And then for both our buyers and our sellers, we want to get as much from virtual tours that we provide. For our listings, we do 2 video tours and our 3D Matterport. And then for our buyers, we want to track down anything that we can to give them, to have them really look online before we inconvenience a seller and everybody makes a trip out to glove up and get ready for a showing. So there's a lot we can do online now. We've been really busy with all of that too.
Well, so when I'm tempted to watch YouTube cat videos, I really could be touring houses, which would be.
You could be, yes.
I know.
Yes.
It's fantastic. What a great way to accommodate what our current situation is.
Yes.
So I'm just so happy to have a time just to chat with both Bob and with Claire, just to, and real estate's happening. There's money out there for people interested in buying, not only in the short term, but in the future, getting prepared to make that move. So again, we just thank you both, Bob Haley with with New American Financing, and then Claire Woodmark Right Realty. So hi to Mark, hi to Piper. Thank you so much for that great information, and we'll look forward to being able to chat again soon.
Yes, thanks team.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Bob.
Bye-bye.
Bye everybody.
Bye.